Sometimes it's hard to know if you have a specific calling on your life, but God can use a dream to show that He is, in fact, calling you to a particular and distinct purpose. So let's talk about 4 dreams that reveal a calling on your life. In Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose." So what does it mean to be called, and how do you know that you are called? Well, the word called in this particular passage means to be invited. It means to be summoned by God to an office or to salvation. Now, there are many scriptures in the New Testament that says that we're all called to salvation. But how do you know when God is calling you to a certain ministry or purpose? So we're going to look at 3 dreams that reveal a calling on your life. Number 1, separation. So you can have a dream where you're with a group of people, for instance, but for whatever reasons, you're suddenly separated from them or you separate yourself from them. For example, someone once had a dream that they were marching in a parade and everyone in the parade was wearing white. But for some reason, she felt compelled to veer away from the group and she entered into a building that was being guarded by 2 very mean-looking men holding machine guns. They growled at her as she entered the building, but they didn't bother her. She noticed that she was at the top of a very long flight of stairs. She turned to exit the building, and as she did, a man came alongside her, and she couldn't quite see his face, and he walked with her as she crossed the street. Now, in the comments section, I want you to tell me, who do you think the man was that came alongside her and she couldn't quite see his face? Write who you think he was in the comments section. So in this dream, God was calling her into the enemy's territory with a ministry involving prayer and intercession. 1 Timothy 2:1 says, "First of all, then, I urge that requests, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made in behalf of all people." Now, in the dream, the group that she was with, who were all dressed in white, represented the church or Christians in her environment. She also crossed the street in the dream, and crossing a street in a dream can represent a change in locations or a change in perspective or position. And her spiritual position did in fact change as she went on to become a powerful intercessor and prophetic minister. So if you're separated from others in a dream, it may be showing that you have a specific calling on your life. Number 2, isolation. So you can have a dream where you are very aware that you've been isolated. No one else is around and you're completely alone. In the dream, you're not sad or depressed. You're just alone in a specific place, usually like a house or a cabin. For instance, someone once had a dream that they climbed a mountain, and when they got to the top, there was a glass house. After entering the house, the dreamer felt a sense of peace and joy. They knew that they were in the right place at the right time. Now, dreaming of a mountain can have a positive or negative meaning. Negatively, it can be speaking of obstacles or difficulties or something that's designed to block your progress. This describes Matthew 17:20, which says, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you." But in the positive, a mountain can be symbolic of a place of refuge. It can be a place of prayer or a place where the presence of God dwells. It could also be showing a higher calling on your life. It can be showing that God is isolating you and calling you higher so that He can prepare and equip you to fulfill your life's purpose. Number 3, God is calling your name. So in the dream, you hear God calling your name, and some people have experienced this in real life. Have you ever heard God calling your name? If so, leave it in the comments section. So if you dream that you hear God calling your name, this is likely God calling you into Christian service. Deuteronomy 4:36 says, "Out of heaven he let you hear his voice, that he may instruct you." Samuel was a 12-year-old boy when he heard God calling his name, and he received revelation from God. God can also call your name to get your attention so that you can turn your focus on him and seek him for direction. Number 4, a phone call. So you can have a dream where your father, grandfather, or a father figure, such as a pastor, is calling you on the phone. This type of scenario can be speaking of a calling on your life, as your father or father figure in the dream can represent God the Father. So if you have any of these types of dreams, pray and ask God for specifics as to what you are called to do. Hey, have you picked up your copy of The Mysterious Language of Dreams yet? In this book, I go more in depth about dreams and dream interpretation than I do on my YouTube videos. I talk about the depth dimension of dreams, dream layers. I talk about the time dimension of a dream. Also, dreams and the imagination, which is quite interesting. I also have put over 40 real-life actual dreams that people have dreamt in the book for you to practice your interpretation skills. Also in the back of the book is a dream dictionary with over 400 dream symbols. So I've left a link in the description box below where you can go and pick up your copy of The Mysterious Language of Dreams today. Do you know what your calling is in life? I'm curious to know. Leave it in the comments section. And if you're not a part of the Dream Team, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any upcoming videos. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, please. I'll talk to you all next time.